The Watchers in the Woods. There's an old road outside of town that no one uses anymore. It winds through miles of thick, gnarled forest, its pavement cracked and buckling from years of neglect. Folks around here call it Black Hollow Road, and everyone knows better than to go there after dark. But Lucas Grayson wasn't from around here. He had moved to the small town of Ashford for a fresh start. After losing his job in the city and going through a messy divorce, he figured a quiet life in a rural town might be what he needed. He rented a small house on the edge of town and picked up work doing odd jobs. But he was restless and bored. And the talk of Black Hollow Road intrigued him. That road is cursed, the old man at the gas station had warned him one evening. People go down it and some never come back. The ones who do, they ain't right no more. Lucas chuckled. What happens to them? The old man's faded blue eyes locked onto his. They see the Watchers. And once you see them, they see you. Lucas brushed it off as small-town superstition, the kind of urban legend used to keep kids from wandering too far. But as the days passed, curiosity gnawed at him. So, one cool autumn night, with a sky full of stars and a thick mist crawling in from the hills, he grabbed his flashlight, got into his truck and drove to Black Hollow Road. The entrance to the road was barely visible, overgrown with weeds and flanked by towering oak trees. His headlights cut through the darkness as he eased the truck onto the cracked pavement. The air grew heavy, thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. He rolled down the window. No sounds. No crickets, no rustling of animals in the brush. Just silence. The deeper he went, the more uneasy he felt. The trees seemed to bend inward, their twisted limbs reaching like skeletal fingers. The fog thickened, swirling in unnatural patterns across the road. Lucas gripped the steering wheel tighter. Then his headlights flickered. Just for a second. A static buzz filled the truck's radio, even though it was turned off. Lucas swallowed hard and slowed the vehicle. A figure stood in the road ahead. His breath hitched. It was tall, thin, and motionless. Its features were impossible to make out, its form blending too well with the shadows. But Lucas knew it was watching him. His pulse pounded in his ears as he reached for the high beams. The second the brighter light hit the figure, it vanished. Lucas let out a shaky breath, laughing nervously. Okay, just a trick of the light. He pressed on, but unease slithered through him like an icy finger tracing his spine. The trees seemed denser now, their branches knitting together above him, blotting out the stars. Then he saw them. On either side of the road, just beyond the tree line, tall, shadowy figures. They stood motionless, their eyes, if they had any, locked onto him. Dozens of them. Lucas's hands shook as he gripped the steering wheel. It's just your mind playing tricks, he whispered. Just shadows. But then they moved. Not walking. Not shifting. One moment they were standing in the trees and the next they were closer. 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 He couldn't see their faces but he could feel their gaze boring into him. Lucas slammed his foot on the gas. The truck roared forward, tires squealing against the cracked pavement. The figures didn't chase him but they didn't have to. Every time he blinked they were nearer. A cold, whispering sound filled the cab. Not words, not quite voices. Just the sensation of something murmuring just beneath his comprehension. And then the road ended. Or rather, it should have. The map had shown that Black Hollow Road connected back to the main highway. But in front of him was only more forest, dense and impassable. The road simply stopped. His headlights flickered again. The radio crackled. And the Watchers stepped onto the pavement. Lucas fumbled with the gear shift trying to reverse but the truck stalled. His breath came in quick, shallow gasps as the figures surrounded the vehicle. Closer now he could see them better, or rather he wished he couldn't. Their bodies were wrong, stretched too tall, limbs too thin. Their faces were voids of shifting darkness. And as they stared, Lucas felt something pulling at him, an unnatural weight sinking into his chest. He clamped his hands over his ears as the whispers grew deafening. Once you see them, they see you. The old man's words rattled in his skull as his vision swam. He tried to scream but no sound came out. The world spun, his mind unraveling, stretching into the shadows with them. The next morning, Lucas's truck was found abandoned at the entrance to Black Hollow Road. The driver's side door hung open, keys still in the ignition. No sign of Lucas. A search party was called but they never found him. But sometimes on foggy nights, travelers swear they see a man standing at the edge of the trees, his face pale, his eyes dark hollows watching. Always watching. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe for more.